Good afternoon, Year 2, and welcome back to your online home learning. I'm here to join you this afternoon for some RE learning, so I'll share my screen and we'll get going. Okay, here we are. Hopefully you can see what I can see. Now today is our last lesson of our RE unit on leaders and teachers. And today we're going to be learning to explore the duties and responsibilities of local religious leaders. So we'll be thinking about religious leaders in our community and thinking about what their responsibilities are. What do they have to do to be a religious leader? So to start off with then, I'd like you to just have a think about what is a place of worship and which places of worship can you name? And there's a bit of a clue at the bottom of the screen here. You can see 3 different places of worship. So use that to help you. Just have a think about what is a place of worship and which places of worship can you name? Okay, so a place of worship is a space where individuals or groups of people come together to pray, attend services, or carry out religious study. Okay, so looking at these places of worship, I'm just going to share with you now. So the one on the left-hand side is a church. In the middle there we have a mosque, and on the right-hand side we have a synagogue. Okay, and the religions are Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Okay, so let's move forwards then onto our learning for today. I'd like you to think about any places of worship in your area. I wonder if you can name any religious buildings you know of in your local area. If you can, I'd like you to think about what are they called, who goes to them, what happens in them, and who works in them. Maybe there's a place of worship that you attend weekly. Okay, so have a little think about some of those religious buildings and we'll come back together in a moment. Okay, so to share with you, I've just found a few here, some religious buildings within our local area. I wonder if you recognise any of these places of worship. Now, most religious buildings or places of worship have religious leaders who work in them. They have lots of different things they need to do in those places of worship. Okay, so looking at this left-hand one here, this is St Michael's and All Angels Church, which is in Aston, Clinton. The middle one here, this is Aylesbury Mosque. And then the one on the right-hand side here, I know that some children went to visit this, not last year, the year before, from our school. This is Radlett Reform Synagogue. Okay, so those are just 3 churches within your local area. Now I know there is of course Berryfields Church as well, which some of you may attend. Okay, so those are just a few places of worship we have locally. Okay, so we're just going to go through each of those 3 religions that we've spent some time looking at over the last few weeks. We're going to think about the duties and responsibilities of those religious leaders within their places of worship. So we'll start off with Judaism and thinking about rabbi, the Jewish rabbi. So rabbis are Jewish, their religion is Judaism. Rabbis may lead religious services or say prayers. The special religious building for Jews, or the place of worship for Jews, is called a synagogue. The Jewish special book is called the Torah. The scrolls on the wall in this picture here, so these blue scrolls here, or the blue covers over the scrolls, are copies of the Torah. This rabbi is wearing a special cap called a kippah and a shawl called a talit. The word rabbi means teacher. Okay, so the job of a rabbi is to teach Jews about their religion. Okay, so that is Judaism. Let's move on to the next religion. The next religion, Catholic priest. So the Catholic religion is Catholicism. And this is a part of Christianity. So the Christian Bible, the Christian special book, is called the Bible. So the special religious building for Catholics is called a church. The religious place of worship for Catholics is a church. Catholic priests lead services where Catholics pray, sing hymns, and learn about their religion. So Catholic priest leads those services which have prayers, hymns, and learning about the religion within them. This priest is wearing robes with a cross on the front, and most of us, I think, will know that the cross is a Christian symbol. Okay, that is Catholicism, Christianity. Finally, then, is Muslim Imam. The Muslim religion is Islam. The Muslim special book is the Quran. You can see the Quran on this special stand here. So the special religious building, or the place of worship for Muslims, is called a mosque. Imams lead Muslims in prayer and try to help people in their community. Muslims usually kneel to pray within the mosque, and the Quran is on a stand because it is a special holy book to show respect. Okay, so those are the three religions we've talked about their holy texts, their places of worship, and a little bit about the responsibilities of those religious leaders. Okay, so I want you to have a think now. Maybe some of you go to a place of worship yourself, or if not, you could think about a special club that you go to. So do you go to a place of worship or a special club? This might be a football club or a dancing club. I want you to write down 2 things you have learned from a leader that works at this club. Whether this is a religious leader, or if it is a club, the leader at the club. So it may be the football coach or the dancing teacher. I want you to write down 2 things you have learned from this leader. An example might be, I learned that the Bible is the holy text for Christians. Okay, so that might just be one example there, but I'm sure you have lots of different things you've learned, either from religious leaders at your place of worship or from leaders at a club you go to. Just take some time now to pause the video, have a think about some things you have learned. Okay, hopefully you've had some time now to think about some things you have learned from a leader. Okay, so your task for today is going to be a bit of an arty task and using your knowledge as well. So I want you to choose one of the 3 places of worship we've learned about today. So either a synagogue, a church, or a mosque. So you're going to have a sheet like this, which I'll upload for you onto Teams. Now, if you don't have access to a printer, that's absolutely fine. You could just do this on a piece of paper, writing out the date and the learning intention, and then complete it on your own piece of paper. That's absolutely no problem. In the middle of the paper, I'd like you to draw a picture of this place of worship. Now you can make the picture as beautiful as you like, have a go at drawing it as big or as small as you like, really looking carefully at the details. So for example, I've drawn a picture of a synagogue here. I've looked carefully, making sure I've included the star on the front of the building there. Okay, and made sure I've really looked at the detail. Once you've drawn it, you can colour it in, decorate it, make it look as realistic as possible. And then you're going to label it around the outside. Remember, you're using a ruler to draw your labels. I'd like you to label it with the religious leaders' roles and responsibilities in this place of worship. So, for example, a rabbi leads religious services. A rabbi says prayers. And I also want to include the name of this place of worship. So the place of worship for Judaism is called a synagogue. Okay, so I'm just writing facts relating to the religion of Judaism and relating to the religious leader for the religion of Judaism. Okay, you can choose whether you want to do this for synagogue, a church, or a mosque. That is totally up to you. I will also upload onto Teams for a little bit of support. I'll upload some pictures of some places of worship, which you can look at on the computer or print off to help you with your own drawing. And I'll also upload a word bank, which will have some of those key words that we've looked at today, like synagogue and mosque and rabbi. Just some words there which will help you when you come to write those labels. Okay, so hopefully those resources will be there to help you with your learning today, and I hope you really enjoy completing this activity. Okay, so just as a final couple of challenges then, once you've completed your main task and you've completed some labels, I'd like you to do a little bit of a research, whether this is on the iPad, the computer, on a phone. I want you to see what else you can find out about this place of worship. So if it was the synagogue that you looked at, I'd like you to do a little bit more research about this place of worship. Now there is a link here which I will put into the description box on YouTube and on Teams, which you can click on, and it has all of the information about all of the different places of worship. So if you just go on there and select the place of worship that you've looked at, then you can read a little bit more about that place of worship and find out more. So that's your final challenge. It'd be really, really great to see, once you've found out a few more facts, to add those onto your learning sheet. But once you've done that, there's a final challenge here of having a go at matching these together to see what you have remembered. So we've got those 3 places of worship here. So we've got church, synagogue, mosque. Then we've got the religious leaders. So we've got Catholic priest, Muslim imam, Jewish rabbi. And then you've got the 3 holy texts, Quran, Torah, Bible. So I want you to see if you can match, first of all, place of worship to the religious leader, and then match the holy text also to the religious leader, so that they're all matching. Have a go at doing that on the screen now, and I'm just going to show you the answers in a moment so you can see if you managed to get them right. Okay, so let's share the answers then. So the church should be linked to the Catholic priest. Catholic priest works in the church, and their holy text is the Bible. And looking at the synagogue, the Jewish rabbi works at the synagogue, and their religious text is the Torah. And then the Muslim imam works at a mosque, and their holy text is the Quran. Well done if you managed to match those together. That was quite a tricky challenge there. Okay, so that's leading us to the end of our RE lesson for this afternoon. I hope you've had a lovely time, and I hope you enjoy getting on with your activity. Have a really super afternoon, Year 2, and I'll see you again in the morning. Bye-bye for now.